Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk Tottenham with your host here, Tom, previewing Sunday's big North London derby away against the enemy. It's away at the Emirates, 2 p.m. kickoff, and the tension is already starting to build. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you my predicted lineup and also my predicted scoreline for the match. Now, obviously going into it, both teams absolutely identical form. Both sides have won 4 and drawn 1 of their first 5 games in the Premier League. Now, look, clearly, obviously, Spurs, we're going to be going into the game as underdogs. Pains me to say it, but Arsenal are a different animal these days. They're playing very, very well. They're coming off the back of a 4-0 win in the Champions League against PSV. Spurs, last time out, we came out 2-1 winners against Sheffield United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult game, guys. There's no getting away from that. I do think I'm going into it with a little bit more optimism than I have in previous seasons, especially thinking back to the last few games, with Nuno. We'd lost the game before half time. I think we went in 3-0 down at the break. And with Mourinho and Conte, it was much the same, really, and so in Sunday's game, really what I'm looking for more than anything is just to give it a go, guys. Just some effort and commitment to the fans, which we haven't seen probably going back to Maurizio's days. That was our last win, actually, probably back in 2017 or 2018, I think, in the League Cup. Where we won 2-0, but you have to go back to 2010 for our last actual league win. It was Harry Redknapp when we came back from 2-0 down and came back to win that game 3-2. So it's been about 13 or 14 years, since we've last actually won away at the Emirates. So it's going to be difficult. I have to say, I think if we can somehow nick a point and get out of there with a draw, I do think that's going to be a good result for Tottenham. But yeah, let's move on to the predicted lineup, guys, because I think, you're eagerly awaiting this one. And then at the end, I'm going to actually give you my predicted scoreline, okay? But I think Ange is going to set up in exactly the same formation that we have done so far this season. And to be honest, I don't see any reason for changing the formation in this game. So I do think he's going to be playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. And of course, in goal, we're going to keep Vicario, who's been really, really solid so far. Hasn't really put a foot wrong in the 5 games so far in the Premier League. And so, yeah, Vicario to obviously keep his place. And I think no reason to change the formation at the back either. So I think it's going to be a 4 at the back, and coming in at right back, I do think Pedro Porro is going to keep his place. Now this one was a little bit of a toss up for me, in terms of do you play Pedro Porro, or does Emerson come in, who, it's probably fair to say, slightly more capable defensively, but I do think Porro has been good this season, and I think it would be unfair to drop him. And I do think, if to take who would be their left back, maybe Zinchenko, back the other way, I do think that Porro can get at him and produce some good quality balls into the box. So Pedro Porro will start right back. Now, the right side of the 2 at the back, I believe it will be Christian Romero. His form this season's been excellent, really, really composed on the ball, and we're going to really need, I think, Romero's aggression in this game. But that said, please, Romero, don't go over the top. he does like to throw himself into challenges. I think it's going to be important that we keep cool heads in this game. And so, last season Emerson got sent off. We can't afford to go down to 10 men in this game. So Romero, yep, really looking for a stellar performance from you again. But stay on the pitch, my friend. Please stay on the pitch. Partnering Christian Romero at left centre-back will be Mickey van der Ven again, who I think Van der Ven and Romero, that partnership is started off the season really, really well. They look like they have a really good understanding, and I've seen a few times Van der Ven, he's so fast, isn't he? So when he needs to get back and cover and sort of retrieve the ball, he's very, very capable doing that. Reminds me so much of Jan Vertonghen. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Does Van der Ven remind you of Jan Vertonghen? And another question to you: do you see the Romero Van der Ven partnership being as good or potentially even better than the Alderweireld Vertonghen partnership? So yeah, let me know that. Let me know that one in the comments. That obviously was a great partnership about 4 or 5 years ago. But yeah, so Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, left back. It's got to be Destiny Udogie again. He's been in absolutely fine form this season. Did really, really well last week against Sheffield United. He's going to have to be defending an awful lot more in this game because probably Saka is going to be on that right-sided flank. We know how good he is. We know that he's going to be taking on Udogie in this game. So Udogie, he's going to have to stay on his feet. He's going to have to block, make timely tackles, intercept. It's going to be a really, really big test for our defence in this game, and we're going to really see what they're made of because there's going to be periods of this game at the Emirates where we are going to be fighting to stay in there. It's going to be a difficult watch, guys, but I'm confident with that back four. They've shown me enough this season that they can stand up and stay in the fight, and that's exactly what we're going to need in this game. Okay, moving on to the midfield now. First up, Yves Bissouma. Okay, and Yves Bissouma has got a massive. We're gonna need a massive game from Bissouma, I think, in this one because we're gonna really need his legs, his energy in this game. We're gonna need him to get stuck in. We're gonna need to see the performances of Bissouma this season and not what we saw last season. Now, what we have seen of Bissouma this season has been brilliant. He's been taking us forward in games. He's shown a lot of skill on the ball. What I want to see from him on Sunday is I want him to actually win the battle against Rice in the midfield, or Odegaard. It's probably going to be Odegaard. He's going to have to stand up to him. He's going to have to get his foot in, control the ball, play it nice and simple, start feeding Maddison. I'm confident that we can see a good performance from Bissouma in this game, but at the same time, I'm a little bit worried that he might go missing as well. So it's a key position, and I'm looking for a really, really dominant performance from Bissouma in this game. Next to Yves Bissouma, keeping his place will be Pape Matar Sarr. Now, Sarr actually came in for, I believe, his first performance in our home game against Arsenal last season, where I know it was a bad scoreline for us, guys. I know we lost the game 2-0, but Pape Matar Sarr was actually my standout performer in that match last season. I thought he was excellent. Showed a lot of composure on the ball. It was around that time also that he then went and put in a really good performance against Milan in the Champions League away in the San Siro. But then we never ever saw him really again, Sarr. But he's come back this season and he looks like the real deal. It's going to be a tough game for Sarr as well, But as I said before, I've seen enough promise in the Sarr-Bissouma partnership this season to be confident that he can go to the Emirates and put in a good performance. Those two really, really key. Basuma and Sarr, they're going to have to do a lot of defending and go back the other way. Okay, so Basuma and Sarr, they'll be our holding pivot in the defence. Now moving forward to the front three. Now playing in front of them will be James Maddison again. Maddison's been great this season. I think every Spurs fan can safely say now that it was a shrewd purchase. I knew it was going to be. You know, I've been calling for Maddison's signing for years now, and it's exactly what we needed. We haven't had that creative playmaker at Spurs ever since Christian Eriksen left, but Maddison has given us, hasn't he? He's given us that ability to play that final ball. We're going to need him. We're going to need that creativity on Sunday. We're going to need Maddison to take some risks. I think his quality from set pieces in this game could prove pivotal. You know, if the game is level going into, let's say, the last third of the game or the last 20 minutes, it's going to be really, really interesting if Maddison's over a free kick or across an opportunity. So, yeah, I say to you, James Maddison, just more of the same, please. More of the same. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting, guys, I think, with the lineup, because I think on the right-hand side, it picks itself. I think Dejan Kulusevski is going to keep his place. He's already scored 2 goals this season. And if I remember rightly, he had a fine game against Arsenal a couple of years back now, actually. I was going to say last season, but it was actually, I'm thinking about the 3-0 game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium when we beat them to 4th. But Kulusevski's been really, really bright this season. Ange looks like he's given him something else. So I'm really looking forward to Kulusevski playing well in this game, providing some opportunities for the other forward players as well. So yeah, just more of the same Kulusevski. I think, you know, believe in yourself. I think you can frighten them. I think we can take them back the other way in periods. There might be a little bit more counter-attacking in this game, but Kulusevski's pace and his power can really help us to get up the pitch, I think. Now, on the left-hand side, I'm going to play Heung-min Son. Sorry, I've got that wrong. On the left-hand side, I'm going to play Mana Solomon. So Solomon, I think he's been a bright spark this season. He's proven people wrong that, you know, there was a little bit of doubt about him when we signed him. I know it was only a free transfer, but Solomon's been bright this season, and I think that he's got the confidence as well. He's very raw. I think with his pace and his directness in this game, I do think he can trouble the Arsenal backline. Whether or not it could possibly be Ben White in Arsenal's right back position, but Solomon, yeah, just more of the same, please. You know, just take your man on. Don't be, you know, I quite like this directness. There's a little bit of Lucas Moura about him, but I think he seems to have a little bit more of an end product, whereas Moura, you know, he'd go on a run and usually lose the ball or just run into the opposition's player. Usually with Solomon, there's usually a final pass or a shot at the end of it. So I think he deserves to keep his place. And up top in the number 9 role will be Heung-min Son. Now, there was a little bit of a toss-up here between playing Son or Richarlison up front. I think Richarlison's going to be more effective in this game coming off the bench with maybe the last 20 minutes to go. I know Son got a little bit lost in the game last week at Sheffield United, but Son loves a goal against Arsenal. You know, he really does. And I'm looking for Son in this game to stretch the play, to make those nice runs. He's done it before at the Emirates. He's done it before. And yeah, I think, you know, it would be crazy to leave Son out the team. Playing him on the left flank as well in this game, I think he could get a little bit lost. And I'm a little bit more confident, as I say, with Richarlison coming off the bench rather than playing him from the start. So that would be my call, Sonny up front. So let me go through that team again. Okay, so it would be a 4-2-3-1 formation with Vicario starting in goal, a back four of Pedro Porro, Christian Romero, Mickey van de Ven and Destiny Adoji, with Yves Bissouma and Pat Matassar sitting in the midfield with James Maddison just in front of them. On the right, Dejan Kulusevski. On the left, Mana Solomon. And up top is the man himself and our captain, Heung-min Son. Now, moving on to the prediction, guys. Now, I've been thinking about this all day, really, what prediction I was going to give in this video. Now, my head says I think we could be in for a difficult day, okay? And if Arsenal score early, I think I do worry for us. I'm gonna say that now. So I think it's really important that we keep it tight for the first 20 minutes or so and quiet down the crowd, because the atmosphere these days at the Emirates is a difficult place to go, right? However, I'm going to go with my heart on this prediction, and I'm going to go for a 2-2 scoreline. Okay, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw, which I think would be a fantastic result for Tottenham. If we can keep this unbeaten record going and get out of there with a point, I think we'd all, you know, I've seen some Spurs fans saying that we can win. I don't think we're quite ready there yet to go there for a win. I'd love to be proved wrong. I think if we can get a point, I think it would be fantastic. So 2-2. That's my prediction. Let me know your prediction, guys, in the comments. Do you think we can go to the Emirates and get a win? Would you be happy with a point? This game, I'm always nervous about this game, guys. Always at the Emirates, you know, it's been a terrible place for us to go over recent years. Can we do it? Do you agree with my starting 11, or would you make any changes? Does Richarlison deserve to come in after turning the match around for us last week, or would you agree with me that it's better for him to stay on the bench and come off maybe if we need a goal in the last few minutes? So, guys, I'm going to be giving you my match reaction on Sunday afternoon to the big match at the Emirates. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, give this video a like, and come on, you Spurs, and I'll see you on Sunday.